All right. Blackie's ready to start. Hey guys, Jack here. I'm back. Hope you missed me. Back the other day, taking care of a few problems around the house. As always, go away, come back. Water problems, this issue, that issue. All back to normal now. Mostly. First walkabout since we got back. See what's going on in the neighborhood. Oh, we got water flowing. We got dirty water flowing. Good morning. Morning. Look at this. The dam fixed, or is the canal fixed? I don't know. Got my favorite puddles out here. Thought I'd do a quick recap for the trip we just took. Give you some pros and cons. Give you some idea of what we spent, not of what you should spend, but what we spent, which was too much in my opinion. It's always too much for the Philippines. Uh-oh. Looks like they're dredging that canal back. Hopefully I can get across. That's gonna be the first problem. Can I get across? And it's late, guys. It's after 9 o'clock. It's gonna be a hot one today. I'm gonna take it a little slow. Keep Blackie on my side and put a strap around him in case I need him to save me. Uh-oh. What we got here? What we got going on? Squeeze by.
Hey, bro.
Hey, good morning.
Snap, my friend. Snap.
Doing some work, huh?
Yeah.
All right. A shout out. Hey.
Hey.
All right. Hey, digging up all the mud, huh? Maybe they're getting this fixed finally. Progress in the province. Progress. People actually working. I love to see that. We got water flowing in here. And we get back to farm life. Yeah, so what started out as a trip from hell, or trip into hell, all got settled when we got to Alona Beach, that's for sure. First night was a little rough with the typhoon up north of us. But we did, the beach felt the effects. A lot of damage to their seawall there that they were repairing for the rest of the time we were there. But we left here, we had that bus ride to hell, or the CDO, whichever you want to call it. Haven't seen that video. Just look at that 1 minute I showed you on the bus of us going back and forth and back and forth. Oh my God. I think we're taking a driver from now on. That's just too dangerous. Especially on that old rickety bus. I thought the window was gonna fly out at any time. And so we get there and we stayed in what was it, Centrio Tower? Yeah, Centrio Tower there for one night. We're supposed to get on the ferry that next night at Friday or whatever it was. I think it was Friday night. But we had to change rooms that next morning. And that started the hotel shuffles. So we did that, changed rooms, and it was only for a few hours because we were going to catch the 7 o'clock ferry, or was it 8 o'clock? 7 o'clock, I think it was. So we didn't really check out because we were afraid we might have to come back and spend the night because of that impending typhoon. But there was no cancellations on the websites or anything for that CDO to Bohol ferry. So we packed up and got in a taxi, went out there, and boom. As soon as we got there to the port, oh, it was canceled. You guys couldn't put that on any notice, huh? No notice at all. So my wife went in, got the refund, and then we were going back to the room, and we were like, next ferry wasn't until 3 days later. So it's like, well, why don't we fly? And so we purchased round trip tickets, or not round trip, one-way tickets. Expensive, guys. I'll give you the cost. It was $200 each for a one-way ticket to Tagbilaran, well, up to Manila and then back down. $200 each. That's because it was very last minute. On an airline ticket that should have cost 50 bucks, you know, ends up costing about $200 each. One way. Could have flown to Thailand for that. But there's the things you got to put up with here. So that was $400. And then we get there, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning. We're finally there. Getting to the hotel room after about an hour wait, even though we were supposed to check in the day prior, or the night prior, or whatever. Well, they didn't open up until 7 o'clock in the morning to get us into our hotel room. So we were there waiting on them for about an hour, which is no big deal to me, but Lynn was a little tired and a little upset that we couldn't get into the room right away. No big deal there. So we waited, got in our room about 7:30 or so. And that, that was about, and these are all bookings on Agoda. So that was about 2,000 pesos a night there for, what, for one night or 2 nights? Well, we paid for 2 days. We were only there for 1 night. And then we went over to the Henan Resort. And Lynn got a good price on those tickets. They were only $100 a night. And we stayed there for 4 nights. And then, like I said, we got a good price. And then that last night where we had to, because we couldn't get a ticket on the ferry, so we had to buy a ticket on the ferry leaving on the Sunday? Yeah, I think Sunday. So we had to spend another night there. And went on Agoda and checked their website for the Henan again, see if we could just extend, maybe switch rooms or something. And they wanted 19,000 pesos. About $350 a night for the cheapest hotel room for 1 night. And that was a Friday night, I think. So we said, nah, we ain't doing that. Yeah, we ain't doing that. What's up, bud? Chilling out there, huh? Like we're already overspending on this vacation. So we went back to Hey, and they let us get back into another room there for that was 2,000 pesos, so about 33 bucks a night for that place. Not bad. And I actually liked parts of that hotel better than the Henan Resort, but we'll get into that. That's about $33 a night. So we stayed there, and then the ferry, yeah, the ferry was Sunday night or Saturday night, going from Tagbilaran to Playa del, which is about an hour and a half up north of Ozama City here in Mindanao. So we moved back to the hay and hay for Friday night, and then, you know, just extended. I think it was 200 pesos for every additional hour past checkout time at noon. So we paid another 1,000 pesos to check out at 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. to catch the 8 o'clock ferry. And our fingers were crossed that that wasn't canceled. And luckily it wasn't. So we got back here, back to the house. It must have been 3 or 4 o'clock. 3 or 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. Today's Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't even know. I don't even know what day it is, guys. So good things and bad things about the trip. Expensive wise, we spent too much, especially on the airline tickets. The Henan Resort is expensive. Meals, everything, every restaurant gets you on that VAT or the sales tax or the service fee. Every meal is 10 or 12% above what the menu price is. Some of them call it a VAT, value added tax. Some of them call it a service charge. So you didn't know what was going to the hotel and what was gone to the waitresses and wait staff themselves. You couldn't figure it out. So they were like, do we pay? You know, do we add a tip? Do we add a tip? Do we don't? And most times we did. Like I said, they disguise it, the disguising fees. And then let's see what else. That was I'm gonna call that a con, because I think it was a con job itself. Because you never knew who the money was going to. Do you believe it was going as a value added tax to the country or to the province or whatever it was? I don't think so. Pretty sure it wasn't. Pretty sure it wasn't going to the wait staff either. I think it was going in people's pockets. Breakfast buffet at the Henan. Absolutely great, guys. They have a great breakfast buffet. And we were able to do it 3 out of the 4 days because we took the fishing trip to 1 day. That video is out there too. Best fishing experience I've had in the Philippines. But still not a great one. And I'll cover that some more. The breakfast buffet had everything. Couldn't find, if we didn't found it the first day, we found it the second day or the third. And we ate at the different restaurants on the resort, because they served the same buffet, just different places. First one we ate at the main restaurant in the lobby area, and boy was that packed. That was absolutely packed, because I think we hit it right after opening. We didn't do that again for the rest of the trip. Majority of the tourists there are Korean families, actually, of all ages. And a lot of Westerners, but a lot of Westerners not from US, not from UK, not from Australia. Most of them were from, who knows? I don't know what. I've been all over the world. I don't know what languages they were speaking. Dutch, Estonian, Russian, French. You know, you ran into everything. But it was pretty crowded at the Henan. But customer service there, best customer service anywhere. The one meal, the last day we had lunch there after checkout and everything. We had one lunch there, which was a la carte lunch. Because they're mostly in the buffet business. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner buffets. But yeah, the breakfast, great buffet. Absolutely fantastic. The servers and everything, you could tell it's a well-trained staff. Really, no crap, guys. Really well-trained staff. Best customer service experience anywhere by far. Morning. By far anywhere. But then, like I said, we had that one a la carte meal. I had fish and chips. My wife had the beef medallions, and I was halfway done my meal before hers was brought, and that really just gets my goat all the time. That's why we don't even order appetizers anymore in any of the restaurants we go to here, because you never know when you're going to get it. It's going to be in the morning, or it's even going to be before your meal, after the meal, during your meal. But hi, how you doing? But they can't coordinate anything. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, so like I said, get past the kids there. They even a 5-star resort couldn't coordinate 2 meals to be served together. Didn't matter on the buffets, you know, you got yours together because hey, it's all on the buffet. But I just don't know what it is here in the Philippines where they cannot coordinate 2 meals. Not one restaurant did we serve in, or did we eat in, the entire time did we get our meals together at a restaurant. Never happened. It never does happen here, it seems. One of my biggest pet peeves. Like I said, we don't even order appetizers because you don't know when you're going to get them. Hint, Philippines, it's prior to your meal. Prior to how many people you have at the table. You bring the appetizers before the meal. Not during, not after. Before. That's why they call them appetizers. I probably got 100 videos where I've said that about places we've eaten. And they still don't get it. It baffles the mind. It really does. How every country in the world can get that together, but there. Just like the baggage. Why do you got to pick up your baggage? If you're flying to Manila and then Manila down to Tagbilaran, why do you have to pick up and recheck your baggage in Manila? Why? It doesn't make sense. Every country in the world has figured out, every country in the world that I've been to has figured out that on domestic flights, you can, even on the same airline, or even on opposite airlines, different airlines, your bags can be forwarded to the destination, especially in the same country. But not here. Not with Philippine Airlines anyway. So we'll put that in a con as well. Henan Resort, we'll give that 2 thumbs up. Even with the one meal that they screwed up. We'll give them, they're gonna get 2 thumbs up. Will we stay there again? Yeah, but we would have to get a good price on the rooms like we did this time. Like I said, you go to Agoda and you plug in the Henan Resort, and I'm pretty sure it's across the board at any of the Henan resorts. And you never know what price you're gonna get on there. Just like a box of chocolates, right? You never know what the hotel room price is gonna be for 1 night, or 2 nights, or 3 nights, or 4. What, buddy? Definitely stay there again. Hey. Definitely stay there for 2,000 pesos on the beach. You can't beat that, and their service is great as well. Like I said, the meal prices there are just like anywhere on the beach. Too much for what you're getting, especially if you're ordering the grilled seafood, which Lynn got every time. Me, I was trying foods that I haven't had in a while, like Wiener Schnitzel and the pies and the meat pies and everything. That's what I was ordering. But Lynn, same thing. Get that lapu lapu grilled, sweet and sour, fried. That was her meal every night. And that's expensive, because that was like 200 pesos for every 100 grams. So you end up, I think the meals between us were probably, total meals with drinks and everything, probably 5,000, or not 5,000, about 3,000 pesos for the two of us to eat. So you're going to pay Boracay meal prices, probably Boracay, I don't know, hotel prices, probably a little less, but the meals, the service charges and all that stuff, probably the same prices as Boracay. Nightlife didn't do too much of that. Hell, we were in bed by 8 o'clock, I think, every night. 8 or 9. Went out a couple times, filled some of the fire shows and stuff. I don't think we'll be heading back to Alona Beach anymore. It's a tourist trap. But unlike my quitter buddy Tropical Martini or Bortini, unlike him, Alona Beach didn't break me. It didn't make me want to quit. It wasn't what did he call it? High frequency, because the people going around asking for money all the time, and you had the ukulele kids. Nah, it wasn't that bad. Didn't make me quit. I don't consider that high frequency. Man, I could see him walking down the street in Angeles City, boy. He'd really be lost. He would have quit. He would have quit months ago if he went there first. So that's one of two that. Meanwhile, Wayne, I think he just got monetized. So that's for another video as well. This is not one of those videos. I'll get back to that tomorrow. This is a trip report. Remember those? Any DOD employees or military, every time you went TDY, you had to come back and do a trip report. Morning. Give the cost, give the pros, cons, so that next traveler. And I think you did those trip reports and nobody read them. Nobody would ever read them. But you'd have everybody in the chain of command making changes. You know, hey, it's my trip report. It's Jack freaking King's trip report. I should be able to say what I want, say what my experience was, right? You would think so, but nah. Everybody up the chain of command had to make these changes, take this out, take that out. That'll make the command look bad. Like, dude, then write your own trip report. You write my trip report, because that's essentially what you're doing. But I'm retired from all that, right? All that nonsense. So we, you know, the times we went out and rented a bike, well, 350 pesos right there on the beach road, guys. Don't go to the ones outside. The places outside that charge 500 per day. Don't do that. Walk right on the main street there, coming up from Alona Beach up to the McDonald's. And there's a place there that'll rent them for 350. Pretty much any of the scooters they got there. That's what I would recommend if I recommended anything. Laundry. We turned in laundry every day, and there's Some places there, minimum 3 kilos, minimum 5 kilos. Well, who has that after 1 day? Or 2 days even? So that's a ripoff. That's a con. Doing the laundry. But it's pennies, guys. Pennies. Nickels holding up the dollars, right? Not gonna say, oh, it's super cheap. It's super cheap. Don't do that. Nah, I don't say that. But yeah, it was good to go. Very good report. Let me get past the kids here. Good morning. How's everyone? Here. Yeah, so that was all good. Like I said, nickels holding up dollars. Laundry down. Scooter we rented from was okay. We went to Bohol the one day, just driving around there, and I do have to say, once you got off the island, I do have to tell you that the cows are a lot nicer here in Mindanao than they are in Bohol. Yeah, okay. But yeah, the roads were a lot nicer there, I thought. Maybe you folks that live there might have a different opinion, but compared to Mindanao, they are in much better shape, I believe. So that's a pro there. The Chocolate Hills, Tarsier, I recommend you go there. Oh, I'm giving advice again. Oh my gosh. No, just put it in the trip report. I would actually go there again if we took the kids next time or whatever. Took some of them, and we might stay in Bohol and go to some of the other beaches and resorts and such. But I would go back there. It was quite interesting. Once in a lifetime sights, and the prices there are cheap. You look at the Chocolate Hills and you go there to the reception area and get on one of the vans. And it was what, 100 pesos? 100 pesos each. You decide if that's cheap or not, guys. Because you get in the van, then ride up to the one main hill, and then you have to walk the steps to get a good view of the other hill. Then you have to walk the steps, guys. I mean, it's a must. It's a must. Even though a lot of people I saw just sit in the reception area, and that was enough of a view for them. But walk up the hills, guys. They got 2 rest stops. They got 2 rest stops for some of you expats who need those. Got 2 spots you can stop along the way up the hill, and it's not that high. So yeah, I would go back there. And the Tarsier place was a little more expensive, 200 pesos, 150 pesos each, I think it was. But if it was me in Chocolate Hills, I would have charged them 100 for the ride up and then 300 for the ride back. That's how I would have ran that business. Oh, you want the ride back too? Oh, that's an additional 200, 300. And you would have gotten it. You would have gotten it. That's Jack's opinion, of course, guys. That's just what I would do. Because I got you. You don't want to walk down that hill, and it's not because the hill's so bad, but the road coming up that hill is a little sketchy and had a little damage to it. You'd have to look out for that bus coming up or that van driving up. And the Tarsiers, hey, it was okay. I would go back there as well. They said they got 6 that live in that property or the sanctuary, and there was what we saw. They had spotted 3 because they go out and look for them every morning. So they spotted 3, and that's where they would be the entire day. And they took little groups or whatever your group size was, and you pay the guide, give them a tip, or don't, as some people did, which is a sad part, really, guys. You couldn't tip the tip the guide, and you needed a guide. You couldn't tip the guide 50 pesos, 100 pesos. And I saw so many European tourists just walk away. Just say thank you, walk away. And because we sat at the spot after coming through, we sat there for a few minutes and just watch some of the tourists depart their tours, and there was about 50% of them did not even tip the guide. Not even a peso, guys. Be kind. Be kind. But it's a government facility, so obviously the tour guides aren't being paid much and rely on those tips. Just making a point, guys. If you can't afford a 50 peso tip or a 100 peso tip, I feel sorry for you. But yeah, we'd go back to both of those locations, and neither one of them was very crowded. Like I said, all the crowds were in Alona Beach. Morning. Primarily Koreans, especially at the Henan, which is, I guess, a Korean resort or Korean company. And that was very, very, very crowded, especially the pool areas. Pool areas were fantastic. Or, as Jim would say, they're phenomenal. They're phenomenal, guys. Oh, but that's another video. Yeah, Jim's adventures. Oh my God. And speaking of which, I took a week off of YouTube, guys. No YouTube for a week, except for what I posted. Did not watch anyone else's videos at all the entire week. Just started watching some of them when I got back here. And there's going to be a lot to talk about there. So as Jim would say, guys, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Because a lot of it will be about you, Jim. Jimbo. Jimbo drug addict. Jimbo drunken drug addict. Yeah, you'll be among the prize. Haven't seen too many pro-life traveler, pro-life predator videos. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'm sure it's the same. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys, and I will start to watch them as I catch up on comments, because I didn't respond to any comments either, guys. But I will be doing that this week as I get back in the full swing. Extend the selfie stick. Nobody's coming back. As soon as I start to talk about pro-life traveler, I get all the GMs coming out of the woodwork. The GMs and the TDs. Some of you catch that, some of you may not. But they're the Creeper Crusaders. The Creeper Crusader Defenders. But to wrap it up, had a great vacation. I got back, I needed a vacation from my vacation. Vacations are tough when you're retired, guys, especially the travel. I didn't talk about that yet. I did and I didn't. Sorry guys, not sure where the GoPro overheated at. So finish up this important trip report. As Len sits in the corner making sure I'm not saying anything bad over here. So I'm not sure where it cut off. Ferries, I think we're cut off on the ferries. So the ferry coming back, which was supposed to be 10 hours, turned into 14 hours. Good thing, guys, we didn't have to pay extra for that 4-hour delay. We didn't have to pay for the extra 4 hours on the boat. What a deal. But we stopped at I think it was Lucerne Port in Siquijor. And for some reason we had to that's where the 4-hour delay came into it. Because we couldn't berth right away. There was no berthing space. And for those that are non-nautical, that's where the boat pulls alongside the pier. It's called a berthing space, for those unaware. But anyway, pulling there for 4 hours, and then the people that we took on there, of course, an hour before we parked there, and that's where most of the tourists were getting off. You had the noise level. Everybody still had to start yakking at about an hour before we stopped there for those that were getting off. And then the people that came on, they had to yak for an hour after they got on board the boat at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I think we got underway again at like 4 in the morning when we left Sikior. So, like I said, that was where the 4-hour delay came into it. And then the people playing with the video games the whole time, killing them zombies on their iPads all night long. I mean, no, like I said, you got your common space, you got your personal space. And your personal space is your bunk on a ship. That's your personal space. And the people across from you in their bunk shouldn't be intruding on your personal space. That's what the common areas are for. The outside areas, to put it mildly. So they kept us up all night, and then the people shushing their kids and getting them off of their iPhones and all that other stuff kept you up all night long, just like the people outside the gates here do. So you couldn't get any sleep on that 14-hour journey. And then it was that 3-hour ride from the guy we hired down to home. Stopped off in Azamas, or not Azamas, or Aketa, to get something to eat there for about 30 minutes or so. And we got back, like I said, Sunday afternoon. I don't know, maybe noon or 1, 2 o'clock. It started raining immediately, so I couldn't tell what time it was. Bucketed rain all Sunday. He said, and then we had some issues the last couple days fixing here at the property. All right, everybody's doing well. Dog's doing well. Vacation, I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And that deduction is probably just for the airline ticket alone. Like I said, we could have flown out of the country and back. Next time we will fly, but we will purchase tickets in advance. You can't rely on these ferries, not especially with these typhoons and everything in the area. Hey, you miss me? You guys miss us? Huh? Yes? Is that a yes? Yes? Huh? That yes? No, that's not yours. Not yours. What are you doing, huh, Nikita? Haru. Oh.